In case you missed it, news broke that YNW Melly has finally been granted bond on one of his 6 total charges. He's been behind bars for 2,295 days without a bond or a conviction, even after a previous mistrial. During a recent court session, paperwork was revealed showing he received a $500,000 bond. The news sparked a strong reaction from Melly's mother, who went live on Instagram to speak outside the courtroom.
Just still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
YNW Melly's legal team submitted a strong bond package that quickly caught the attention of the rap community, with some artists reacting, "That boy Melly is coming home. I feel it." In the filing, his lawyers proposed an unspecified bond, amount to be covered by his label, 300 Entertainment, if the court approved it. They also assured the judge that Melly would be placed on house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and hire 24/7 private security for supervision. Shortly after, Melly was seen entering the courtroom.
Good morning. This is on State of Florida versus Jamel Demons. Present is Mr. Demons. Mr. Demons, can you hear?
YNW Melly's bond package, along with the support from his record label, is being called incredibly strong. His mother also spoke out, revealing that they have evidence showing Melly is not being treated like a human while in jail, a serious violation of his rights and something she says is completely illegal.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him. And the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to some.
Melly's legal team also revisited key evidence from the original trial to convince the judge that he's not a flight risk. They presented GPS data from his iPhone, which remained in his pocket the entire night of the alleged crime. The data reportedly shows Melly running down the street and hiding in a bush at the exact time the crime was taking place, a detail they argue supports his innocence.
The part where he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juby? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
To support the theory that the incident was actually a drive-by shooting, Melly's team pointed out a crucial detail from the original trial. No firearm was ever recovered. This fact strengthens their argument, suggesting the real shooter likely fled the scene with the weapon, making a drive-by the most plausible explanation.
Well, the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
In response, prosecutors submitted new paperwork that could change the course of the entire case. The documents center around Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, and his best friend, YNW Bortland. Here's the twist. Prosecutors are now pushing to have Melly and Bortland tried together in the next trial. And there's one major reason behind this move, and it's not good.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once. And also, you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is...
It's simple logic. If Bortland knows he didn't commit the crime, he's not likely to sit quietly and accept a life sentence. The pressure could push him to turn on YNW Melly to save himself. What many don't realize is that Melly's legal team already tried to use this dynamic to their advantage in the first trial. Since Bortland wasn't being tried alongside Melly back then, the defense subtly shifted blame in his direction, hoping to create reasonable...
Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with... And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Melly's legal team didn't hold back. They pointed the finger at YNW Bortland, accusing him of lying to federal investigators. According to the defense, Bortland was the one with gunpowder residue on his hands and was also the person last seen with Juvie and Sackchaser when they tragically lost their lives. To strengthen their claim, they even brought in a forensic expert who had examined the case, testifying in detail about the residue found on Bortland.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of heart residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of heart residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was heart residue present on the hand.
YNW Bortland didn't take kindly to these accusations. On the same day Melly was granted a mistrial, Bortland tweeted a cryptic message that seemed to send a clear signal. "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji, as if he was accepting some kind of deal. To make matters worse, prosecutors now have Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, on their side. She was recently arrested for skipping Melly's first trial, which only adds fuel to the fire.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
After being released from jail, Mariah Hamilton took to Facebook, posting a message that read, "Into my village. Thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." Shortly after, the judge struck a deal with her. "If you agree to testify against Melly, you're free to go." She agreed without hesitation, a move that spelled disaster for YNW Melly. Investigators then uncovered troubling evidence in Mariah's iCloud account, messages indicating that Melly had attempted to force her to avoid testifying. This was clear witness tampering, and the moment she admitted to it, Melly's fate was sealed. Regardless of whether he was involved in the deaths of Sackchaser and Juvie, he now faced the very real possibility of a life sentence.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a
The witness tampering charge would be treated as a separate case from the charges related to Sack Chaser and Juvie's deaths, but it carries just as much potential prison time. In the United States, witness tampering is taken extremely seriously, and the consequences can be severe. Due to this charge, Melly has also been prohibited from using a phone in jail for several months. The situation became so dire that Melly's mother, Jamie King, gave an interview, exposing the county jail for denying her son phone access.
Son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail. They don't give it to him.
If the allegations are true and Melly was using the jail phone to commit witness tampering, it would explain why he's been denied phone access. The most alarming part is that the feds likely have solid evidence stored away, waiting for the trial to begin. They wouldn't restrict Melly from using the phone based on a mere suspicion. Doing so without proof could lead to expensive lawsuits. In court, the prosecutors had the opportunity to present their case, and their evidence seemed strong. It began with a text message from Melly's phone, sent hours after the crime, in which he seemingly admitted to his involvement.
The Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
One of the key pieces of evidence was a saved video from someone's Facebook Live, showing Melly and Bortland just 6 hours after the crime had occurred. In the footage, neither of them appeared upset or remorseful, which raised serious questions about their involvement. Their reactions, or lack thereof, painted a troubling picture for the defense.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Neither Melly nor Bortland showed any signs of sadness or remorse for the loss of their two best friends. But recently, a new and intriguing piece of evidence surfaced. A former member of the Oblak gang came forward, claiming that Melly's motive for the crime was rooted in financial greed. According to this source, Melly didn't want to share his earnings with the other YNW members, which ultimately led to the tragic events.
Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
This was a secret that Melly had confided in King Von a few years ago, but unfortunately, the information was leaked after King Von went rogue. Now, this revelation could serve as crucial evidence against Melly. The question remains, is this enough to convict him and sentence him to life in prison, or could he still be released?